Your parents told you buying a house was the smartest financial decision you could make. Society calls it the American dream. But what if, for millions of people, their house is actually the biggest obstacle to building wealth? Not their income, not inflation, not student loan, their house. And the crazy part? Most homeowners never realize it because the numbers are hidden behind emotion. Today, we're going to break down the real math behind owning versus renting and why, for the first 7 years of your career, renting and investing might actually make you richer than buying a home. Not emotionally richer, mathematically richer. And once you see this, you'll never look at home ownership the same way again, because there's something almost nobody talks about. Your house does not just cost a mortgage payment. It quietly drains money from places you don't even notice. Property taxes, repairs, maintenance, insurance, closing costs, interest, fees, appliances breaking at the worst possible time. And then there's the biggest hidden cost of all, the opportunity cost, the money you could have invested instead. And this changes everything, because while homeowners are fixing roofs, investors are buying assets that compound silently in the background. Assets that don't need plumbing repairs, or new carpets, or water heaters. But here's the scary part. Many people buy homes before they're financially ready, simply because they're terrified of missing out. And that fear can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Meet Jason, 27 years old. Good job, decent salary. Finally feels like adulthood is starting. And everywhere he looks, people are buying homes. Friends on Instagram, coworkers, family members. Everyone keeps saying the same thing. Stop wasting money on rent, build equity. Real adults own homes, so Jason feels pressure, a lot of pressure, because renting starts to feel embarrassing, temporary, like he's falling behind. Then one day, he buys a house, 3-bedroom, nice neighborhood, big kitchen, fresh paint. Everyone congratulates him. His parents are proud, his friends are impressed, and for a few months it feels amazing. Then reality starts showing up. First, the closing costs, thousands gone instantly. Then the property taxes, higher than expected. Then insurance. Then maintenance. Then the HVAC system breaks, $8,000 gone. And suddenly, Jason notices something strange. Even though he owns a home, he doesn't actually feel wealthier. He feels trapped because most of his income is now locked into a giant illiquid asset. And that's the word almost nobody discusses. Illiquid, meaning your money is stuck. You can't spend your kitchen. You can't buy groceries with your roof. You can't sell 4% of your bathroom during an emergency. And meanwhile, his friend Daniel kept renting. But Daniel invested the difference every month, quietly, consistently. No flashy purchase, no social media celebration, just investing, month after month. And 7 years later, the results shocked both of them. Here's the uncomfortable truth. A house is part investment and part consumption. And people confuse those two things constantly. Because yes, homes can appreciate, but appreciation alone doesn't tell the full story. Imagine buying a $450,000 home. Most people think if it goes up to $550,000, I made $100,000. Not exactly, because ownership has friction, expensive friction. You paid mortgage interest, property taxes, insurance, repairs, maintenance, realtor fees, closing costs, and suddenly that profit starts shrinking fast. But here's where it gets really interesting. The first years of a mortgage are brutal. Most of your payment doesn't build equity. It goes to interest, meaning for years you're barely increasing ownership at all. And almost nobody realizes this when they buy. They think, my mortgage payment builds wealth. But early on, a massive portion disappears into the banking system. Now compare that to investing. Let's say instead of buying, you rent a cheaper apartment and invest your down payment, the monthly savings difference, the avoided maintenance costs, into something simple, an S&P 500 index fund. Over long periods, the stock market historically compounds aggressively. And unlike a house, stocks don't demand a new roof at 2 a.m. They don't need plumbing repairs. They don't increase property taxes. They simply compound, quietly, automatically. And compounding is where wealth actually explodes, not through appearances, through time. But society rarely celebrates invisible wealth. Nobody claps because your index fund grew 11%. Nobody throws a party for disciplined investing. But buying a house? That gets applause immediately, which creates a dangerous psychological trap. People optimize for social approval instead of financial optimization. And this is where many young professionals accidentally delay wealth creation by years, sometimes decades. Let's simplify this with an example. 2 people, same income, same city, same starting savings. Person A buys a house. Person B rents and invests. Person A puts $60,000 down, pays closing costs, pays maintenance, pays taxes, pays insurance, pays HOA fees. Person B rents a smaller apartment, invests the $60,000, invests monthly savings different. Now here's the important part. During the first 5 to 7 years, the renter often has more financial flexibility, more liquidity, more investment growth, more mobility for career opportunities, and fewer surprise expenses, especially if home prices stagnate, interest rates are high, or maintenance costs spike. And this is why timing matters. Buying a home is not automatically bad, but buying too early can be extremely insanely expensive, especially if you move frequently, switch careers, haven't built emergency saving, or buy primarily because of social pressure, because homes become more financially powerful over long periods, usually decades, not short windows. And that completely changes the conversation, because many people compare 30 years of home appreciation against 5 years of renting. That comparison is misleading. The real question is, what builds the highest net worth during this stage of life? And sometimes the answer is renting, especially early. But wait, there's another layer almost nobody talks about: lifestyle inflation. Because once people buy larger homes, their entire financial life expands around it. More furniture, more decoration, more utility bills, more upgrades, more spending. The house quietly becomes a consumption machine. And suddenly, the dream that was supposed to create freedom creates pressure instead. Pressure to earn more, pressure to stay employed, pressure to maintain appearances. And that pressure changes people psychologically. They become less willing to take career risks, start businesses, relocate for better opportunities, invest aggressively, because now the house owns them, not the other way around. So what should you actually do? First, stop treating home ownership like a moral achievement. Buying a house does not make someone financially smarter, and renting does not mean failure. Wealth is about net worth, cash flow, assets, freedom, not appearances. Second, understand the 5 to 7 year rule. If you realistically won't stay in a property long enough, buying often becomes financially inefficient because transaction costs are so high. Third, run the full math, not just mortgage payments. Calculate maintenance, taxes, insurance, repairs, opportunity cost, interest paid, closing costs, because the hidden costs matter enormously. Fourth, invest while you rent. This is the part people skip. Renting only works financially if the difference is invested consistently, not spent, not wasted, invested automatically every month. Fifth, buy a home when it aligns with your life, not social pressure. A house can absolutely become a fantastic long-term asset, but timing matters. Financial stability matters. Emergency savings matter. Career stability matters. And emotional discipline matters. Because the goal is not to impress people. The goal is freedom. And maybe that's the biggest lie people were sold. That wealth looks like ownership, big house, big driveway, big mortgage. But real wealth often looks invisible. It looks boring, quiet, unimpressive. An investor living below their means. A renter maxing out index funds. Someone choosing flexibility over status. Someone building freedom instead of appearances. Because at the end of the day, your house is not automatically an investment. An investment puts money into your pocket. A liability takes money out. And for many people, their home does both at the same time. Which means the real question is not, should I buy a house? The real question is buying this house at this stage of my life actually helping me build wealth? And that answer is deeply personal. But most people never stop long enough to ask it. Because the truth is, financial freedom is not built through cultural slogan. It's built through math, discipline, patience, and understanding the hidden costs behind emotional decisions. So before you chase the dream society handed you, make sure it's actually your dream. And if you made it this far, comment below, rent or buy. I genuinely want to know where you stand after hearing the math. And if you enjoy finance videos that challenge conventional wisdom, subscribe our channel, because the next financial decision you rethink might change your entire future.